Welcome back to another video here at Ozark Fence. My name is Matt. And today we're in the backyard of a customer putting up some privacy slats. We're going to be installing these in some chain link fence that we just threw up, and we thought we would take you along for the ride, show you what these slats are, how to install them, and really what they do in terms of privacy. Let's get into it. Now that we have this bag open, let's take a look at the two different things that come in it. Each bag holds roughly 10 feet worth, 10 linear feet of slats. You're gonna have your vertical slats and the bottom track. The bottom track is a little bit different. You can think of it kind of like the letter V. It's got a groove for these to slide down each individual chain link picket and lock into the bottom track. It's a really quick and simple way to add some privacy to an otherwise not so private type of fence. So to start putting in privacy slats, let's first talk about what kind of tools you're gonna need. Really, the only thing I can think of that you might need would be some way to cut the bottom track. You can use a good pair of scissors, a box cutter, or some sort of a good sharp knife. This is my preferred method because it's versatile. To start with privacy slats, you're first going to want to install the bottom track. And this again is the V-shaped track that goes along the bottom of the chain link. And you can see just to my left here that we have some already started. We're going to continue putting in this bottom track, and that's going to allow us to start throwing in some of the vertical slats into the fence. One of the key things about the bottom track is the positioning of it. If you notice on the bottom of the chain link fence where the end is, it's knuckled over. So chances are good you're not gonna be able to put the bottom track into the section that's knuckled. There's just not quite enough room. So typically what we do is we'll move up just an inch or so above that, up into the next rung, and we'll put the bottom track in all the way around the perimeter of the fence. Let's go ahead and throw some in. So now that we have the bottom track put into the perimeter of the fence, and that went pretty good, we're ready to throw in the vertical slats. Now, if you notice on these, there are two ends, and it's important to put the right end in first. So we have the bottom end, which you can see is cut at a 45, and it also has a little cut in it, and that is so that when you put it in the bottom track that it locks into place. So that's going to be how you identify the bottom. The top is pretty much just nothing done to it other than it's cut to length. So that's how you're going to be able to identify which end is which. Now they make lots of different types of slats. This particular type, I'm not sure what it's called, it's just a smooth style, but they also make different types that have like V's or different lines cut into them. Some of them look kind of like feathers almost. There's lots of different ones out there to choose from. And depending upon what chain link you're putting it into, some do offer a little bit more privacy than others. These ones I would say are probably a medium grade one or an average amount of privacy. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's go ahead and we'll run through how to install these once we're done with the bottom track. So now that we are to our next terminal post, we're ready to start again. We've got the area behind me done, but we're gonna start here and we're gonna pay attention to the bottom piece. Again, this is cut at a 45 and has the little cutout for the bottom track. Now you would think you'd want to start here, but really you can't because the tension bands and bolts and nuts are in the way. So typically we'll start one over and we're just gonna feed it down into the wire. Sometimes you can get lucky and do a couple at a time. Another really good tip for putting these in is this area that is cut at a 45. Sometimes if you bend it over a little bit, it will go down into the pickets a little bit easier. So once we get them started, we're just gonna push them down until they get down to the bottom. You might find that you might have to help it along as you get further down the fence. They don't always go in super straight. Now that we're to this first one here, you can see that if you just push it into the bottom track, you'll hear a click. And that's how you know it's properly seated into the bottom track. Sometimes like this, you'll have a little bit of trouble getting it in. You can either use your boot or you can bend down and try to help guide it into the bottom track. Let's go ahead and we'll do a little bit and then we'll see what it looks like. So hopefully this quick video helps you understand what privacy slats are all about, how to install them, and you're able to look at it and see what kind of privacy it offers. It's obviously not quite as private as traditional privacy wood fence, but it's a really good option to throw in some chain link fence that's already existing. Maybe you don't want to install a brand new fence. And in this case, we have sold and put in this job with privacy slats in mind. So it's also a good option from starting fresh. Hopefully this quick video helps you guys understand a little bit more about them. Appreciate you guys tagging along, and leave comments in the comments if you have any questions. We'll catch you guys in the next one.